We at Dr. Bharat Modi's Center for Knee and Hip Surgery in Baroda have with us Mr. Dayo Akogun from Nigeria. Mr. Akogun, what made you choose India and in particular Dr. Bharat Modi for your knee surgery?
Thank you very much. When I had this accident, actually, it never occurred to me I was going to be traveling out of my country for any form of treatment. But after changing the number of hospitals, the last hospital told me I had to be referred outside Nigeria, but nowhere in particular. Now, in the course of discussion, because the medical team were, with me then, somebody mentioned a big hospital, in India. And another person said, oh, that's a big name. So immediately I went on the internet and searched for the hospital. It was actually big, very big, about 48 hospitals and all that stuff. But I didn't see the profile of their surgeons. And I was also in a very big hospital there, and the surgeons could not handle my case. But so that made me to try Europe. I think Germany, England, and Australia also. But one fascinating thing was all the hospitals I tried checking there, their surgeons were Indians, most of the surgeons. So I said, well, why don't I go to India where there will be lots of them? So I went on the internet, knee surgery in India, arthroscopic and all that. Before then, I educated myself on what arthroscopy and all that was all about. I got about 9 hospitals in India, and we began to communicate, about 8. And then, suddenly, by a stroke of luck, I just saw Center for Knee Surgery, a super specialty hospital. I liked the word. So I went to the website, and then we began communicating. Now, in the course of communication, because as a Nigerian, we want things done like yesterday, always in a hurry to get things done. I like the promptness to which, the replies were coming. I'm sending a mail, in 2-3 hours, the reply is back. I'm sending another mail, in another 1 hour, the reply is back. I like that very much. And so within a few days, we were able to go very, very far. Now, when I compared the responses from Center for Knee with the other hospitals, I felt more comfortable with Center for Knee Surgery because they had a clear understanding of what my problem was. And they also told me what they intend to do to solve the problem. They specified the number of days I was going to spend in the hospital. And if I needed to stay out of the hospital, they have an arrangement with an hotel. As a matter of fact, whenever I choose to plan my journey, I should let them know they were ready to assist me. So it was very welcoming to me. And so I made up my mind, Center for Knee Surgery. But then again, the question, why Baroda? Everyone I asked were expecting me to talk about Delhi, Bangalore, and all the big cities. Why Baroda? But I also know from experience that the best is usually not in a very big city. So I made up my mind that I was coming here. That was how I chose India, and that was how I chose Center for Knee.
Thank you. What has been your experience at our center after you came here?
My experience has been actually very wonderful. By training, I'm a designer by training, and I'm trained to see faults more than to see good things. So wherever I go, I pick faults very easily. But in all honesty, I've been quite satisfied with the way I've been treated here from day one. The very day I arrived here, it was on a Sunday. The driver was at the airport. In fact, I just saw my name flying in the sky. And I said, oh, this guy has come for me. And then we came to the hospital. Barely 15 minutes after we arrived here, about 4 doctors had already come to ask me various questions. And that was very wonderful for me. In fact, I thought I was the only patient in the hospital. But when I was going to the bathroom, I discovered that there were, several other patients, in the hospital. I wasn't alone. So I noticed there was personalized service here. And that is very important for a patient.
According to you, what makes this center and Dr. Modi stand out from other hospitals and surgeons?
Dr. Modi, for one, I've not known him for many days, but for the short time we've been together, because Every day he comes in here, sometimes twice. In fact, sometimes he just walks in and sits down, and we talk generally about things. I find in him a lot of honesty. His ego, every human being has ego. His ego does not control him. He was very honest with me from day one about what my problem was. And he didn't tell me this was going to be solved in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes. He told me it was complicated. And a lot of work needed to be done. But you see, every step he was also going to take, he was also telling me. I was aware. I was informed. In fact, sometimes he gives me literatures to read to give me an idea. So I knew exactly what we were doing. I was not totally out. The doctors too were coming, very attentive to whatever I have to say. That personal touch was there. And again, he's a very considerate man. I didn't intend to stay in India for this long, if not for the complication. Now, some other doctors will have taken advantage of me, shoot the bill up and all that. But he never did that. Rather, he gave me concessions. I must say, he has been quite generous to me. And not only to me, I met a young man when I came in here from, I think, Mombasa. And he also gave me the same impression. And that I discover is true. So I think that is part of him.
I would like to ask you, what message would you like to convey to patients all over the world who are suffering from knee or hip problems and are looking for treatment options abroad like you?
If you don't have an idea of who their surgeon was, you must have the profile of the surgeon. In Dr. Moody's case, I went through his website 11 times. I read everything on that website 11 good times. So I have an idea of what his profile was. I have an idea of what he has done before. I have read testimonies of other people who had been here. It gave me a clear idea about who this man is and what his hospital will be like. It's very important. Not just about big names. A friend of mine came to India not too long ago to a very big hospital. He got his treatment quite okay, but he was not satisfied. It was a big hospital. This is not a very big hospital compared to some that have been before coming here. But believe me honestly, I got exactly what I wanted here. So one, educate yourself. Two, be interested in who the surgeon is and also the hospital. Those three things are key important things.